Hello friends, welcome to our channel EduTR. I am Garima. I will teach you biochemistry. In the last two videos, I have discussed about the amino acids. In today's video, I have discussed about the primary structure of protein. First, how the proteins are formed. Proteins are formed by the polymerization of amino acids. When these amino acids undergo a condensation dehydration reaction, a bond is formed between these amino acids, that is peptide bond. It is formed between the carbon of carboxylic end and the nitrogen of amino end. This bond is also called an amide bond. It is shown here under the green shadow, and the water molecule get be released in this reaction. This concept of the thermodynamics of peptide bond formation is very important. Here, the reactants are individual amino acids. They undergo a condensation dehydration reaction and form the product, that is protein or peptide. To form the bond between them, amino acid will absorb some amount of energy or heat from the surrounding, so that the reaction is an endothermic reaction. To proceed the endothermic reaction in the forward direction, this reaction is coupled with an exothermic reaction such as ATP hydrolysis, because the system absorbs the heat and it is endothermic, so that it is non-spontaneous process. The reactant or individual amino acids are more stable in comparison to the product, so that the reaction is thermodynamically unfavorable, but it is kinetically favorable. Now the question arises, if the products are less stable, then why it is not broken down or converted back into the individual amino acids? Why the peptide bond is not broken down spontaneously? Because the peptide required a very large amount of heat to break down the peptide bond, and such amount of heat cannot be provided by the body in the normal physiological condition at pH 7. It is only possible in the presence of any catalyst or any enzyme. It is asked in many competitive exams that what will be the symbols of these thermodynamic values, that is Gibbs free energy, enthalpy and entropy. Because the system is non-spontaneous and endothermic, so that the Gibbs free energy will be positive. Because the system absorbs the heat, so that the heat of the system can be increased, so that enthalpy will be positive. But the reactants more stable converted into the less stable, so that the entropy of the system can be decreased. The peptide bonds has very special characteristic features. In case of protein, the nitrogen carbon bond length is equal to 1.32. Normally, the nitrogen carbon single bond length is 1.49 and nitrogen carbon nitrogen double bond length is 1.27. This 1.32 angstrom value is more than this double bond value, but it is less than the carbon nitrogen single bond value. Why it is? Because the carbon nitrogen bond show the partial double bond characteristic features. Why it show partial double bond characteristic features? Because the peptide bond exists in resonating structure. The nitrogen has a lone pair of electron. They will donate their lone pair, and the oxygen become a more electronegative, so they will take their lone pair and get a partial negative charge, and nitrogen get a partial positive charge. That will develop the dipole moment. Because of this dipole moment, the carbon nitrogen bond show the partial double bond characteristic features. It show 40% of double bond characteristic features. This peptide bond is usually uncharged, but it is polar in their nature because of the positive charge present on the hydrogen, and the oxygen show the partial negative charge. It is very helpful to bonding with the other amino acid to get the native structure of protein. The number of amino acids are different, that is depend on the type of protein. It may be, if there are 2 amino acids, then it is called dipeptide. If it is from 2 up to 10 amino acid residue, then it is called oligomeric. If there are up to 5,000 a large number of amino acid residue present in a protein, then protein is called as polymeric. The atom that will form the peptide bond, that is alpha carbon, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen and alpha carbon, they are present in the same plane. They are present in their carbon, alpha carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, alpha carbon. They are present in their backbone in their repetitive manner. And the variable R group, that is projected outside. On the basis of the R group position, the amino acids are categorized in either cis form or trans form. If the R group is present on the same side, then it is called cis, or if it is present in the opposite side, then it is called R, trans. Usually all amino acids present in the protein are present in trans form. Because of the R group is bulky, if they are present on the same direction, then they will cause the steric hindrance with one another, and that will increase the energy of the bond and destabilize the bond. But there is one exception, that is proline, because in case of proline, the nitrogen of the backbone will attach with the two tetrahedral carbons so that it is not free, so that both cis and trans form are present in the equimolar proportion. Many numericals are asked on behalf of the amino acid and peptide. There are two examples, such as if they ask what will be the number of the peptide bond if the number of amino acid residue will be given. The number of peptide bond is equal to the number of amino acid is minus to the 1. Next question. Usually the individual amino acid molecular weight is 128, but when they are involved in the peptide bond formation and when they will condense, they will release a water molecule, so that their total molecular weight is reduced by the molecular weight of water, so that the molecular weight of individual amino acid residue in a peptide bond chain will be 110. The proteins are categorized in 4 levels on the basis of their degree of complexity, that is primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure and quaternary structure. All the primary structure, secondary structure and tertiary structure, they are made up of single polypeptide chain. But in case of quaternary structure, there are more than one polypeptide chain. Both tertiary and quaternary structure are present in their 3D form. This classification is done by the Lindström-Lem. Here we are discussed only the primary structure of protein. The sequentially arrangement of the amino acid in a linear manner is called as primary structure. The amino acids are linked together by the covalent peptide bond. For the convenience, one end of the peptide is regarded as N-terminal because it has free amino group, and the another end will be as C-terminal because it has free carboxylic group. The peptide is written as N to C, and the synthesis of protein is also take place from N-terminal to the C-terminal. There is a special bonding that is present in the primary structure, that is disulfide linkage. It is very helpful to stabilize the primary structure of protein. The nearby cysteine molecule has the thiol group in their R side chain. Then they will undergo the oxidation and form a disulfide bond. Now the torsion angle. Torsion angle is a very important, also a complicated concept. First, what is the torsion angle? Why it is not a simple angle? If the angle is formed by two intersecting planes, then it is called as torsion angle. And if the angle is formed by two intersection of two lines, then it is called angle. Here there are two planes, that is one A, B and C, and another plane will be B, C and D, and the angle between these two planes is called as dihedral angle. In case of protein, there are 3 bonds are present in their backbone, that is alpha carbon nitrogen and nitrogen in between the carbon and between the alpha carbon and carbon. But out of these 3 bonds, only alpha carbon and nitrogen and carbon and alpha carbon are present in single bond, and nitrogen and carbon bond is double bond. So that because it is double bond, it is rigid. It is not free to rotate. Only the bond between the alpha carbon and nitrogen and carbon and alpha carbon are free to rotate. Why here the angle is regarded as torsion angle? Because in case of the protein or peptide, the atom which are involved in peptide bond formation, they are considered as a plane. These are carbon, oxygen, nitrogen and hydrogen. Why they are considered as plane? Because the atoms are not rotated individually. They are rotated as regarded as they are considered one plane. Now, in case of protein, there are 3 torsion angles, that is psi, phi and omega. If it is present between the alpha carbon and nitrogen, then it is psi. If it is present in alpha carbon and carbon, then it is called phi. And if it is present between carbon and nitrogen, then it is called omega. The omega bond is a rigid bond because of the double bond characteristic feature. Only the phi bond and psi bond determine the proper conformation of the protein. There are many values are possible for the phi bond and psi bond. It may be up to the plus 180 degree to the minus 180 degree. That is depend whether they are rotate in the clockwise or anti-clockwise. But only those values are possible which show very less steric hindrance or no steric hindrance. So that a very few values are possible in which the protein attain their native conformation and get the stable. So that in case of the omega, it is present in the strictly extended and stable form. It is always 180 degree, but there are many values for phi and psi. If the both R groups are present in the same direction, and they will show a bond of phi and psi value will be 0 degree, but it is strictly prohibited. If the both groups are present at opposite direction, then it will be 180 degree. This torsion angle is very helpful to determine that what will be the 3D structure of the protein will be. That we will discuss in the later videos. Thank you. If you like the videos, please comment it and share it. Thank you.